ओम वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ओम श्री महागणपतये नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम श्री मेधा दक्षिणामूर्ति स्वामिने नमः। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्धदामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्कपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थितदद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ओम। So namaste everyone.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Namaskaram.
Namaste.
Namaste. In case I forget, happy Pongal to all of you
Happy
for tomorrow.
Same to you.
Same to you, Guruji.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hari Om. या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी यस्यां जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः। My voice is audible, you know? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. I heard some disturbances. I thought probably the voice is gone. Okay. So this sloka we were seeing in the last class. What it says, very simply, in that which is night for all beings, the one who is wise, who has mastery over oneself, is awake. And that in which beings are awake is night for the wise one who sees. It's a very cryptic message in this sloka. In fact, you know, by the definition of this sloka, all our IT workers will become wise people because they sleep during night. Sorry, they work during night and sleep during day. So, does that mean that a wise person is a sort of a IT, you know, what they call some technical word there. I'm not forgetting that. But you know, IT back office guys who have their clients in the US and Canada and all time zones, so they work at night and sleep during the day, like the wise man. This is what, you know, people who do not know what exactly this Bhagavan Krishna is trying to say may understand this sloka in that manner. And we were discussing that in the context of this sloka, the two drishtis, the Advaita drishti and the Dvaita drishti, are talked about in this sloka. So a wise man or a jnani, he has got Advaita drishti, which is the essence of this creation, which is the truth revealed by the Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita about creation. Ekameva advitiyam. There is only one. That is the Advaita. Advaita Drishti's the valid Upanishad statement. And to understand that, we have seen these examples earlier also. Behind all varieties of ornaments, gold is one. Behind all types of furniture, wood is one. Behind all types of waves, water is one. So the one who does not forget the essence, the adhishthanam, the basis on which this entire prapancha of nama rupa stands. All ornaments are nothing but nama rupa given to gold. Gold is the essence of all ornaments. Similarly, waves, they are nothing but names and forms of water. Water is the essence of all waves. Like that, if we understand this entire prapancha, then we will come to the conclusion that this entire prapancha, the foundation, the basis, is only one, which is Ishvara, or in fact, to go further, Brahman. All these Nama Rupa, the Drishti, the Dvaita Drishti that we are having is the effect of Maya. So a Jnani has got Advaita Drishti. He understands that in reality, there is no birth and death, because birth and death, or appearance and disappearance, you can call it, is all attached to the Nama Rupas. So what happens in birth and death is nothing but a change of name and form. And the one who has got a Dvaita Drishti, he will be giving reality to birth and death. And because of that, he will go on, either on birth he will happily laughing, and on death he will be crying endlessly. So basically what this sloka is conveying is, an Ajnani has got a Dvaita Drishti, a Jnani has got Advaita Drishti, and both of them are referring to the same world. It is not that there is a different world for Jnani, different for Ajnani. Both of them are live in the same world, they are referring to the same world, but both the understanding of both of them with reference to this entire world is totally diametrically opposite. And in the last class, I gave you two examples. One example was two people sitting on a beach and looking at the ocean. One sees, myriad of waves of different sizes and speeds and takes them to be real. Another sees only water everywhere. He understands the reality of all the waves is water alone. Waves are what? They are nothing but just names and forms of water. You can sit and then do time pass, give different waves, different names, whatever you feel like. Our numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Waves are endless, and your numbers also will be endless. And another example we saw was of a movie theater, where the film is or a movie is projected onto a white screen. The reality of the movie is the white screen, and the characters in the movie that we see on the white screen are just projections. These projections are temporary, they will come and go, they will keep on changing. Whereas the white screen is permanent, it remains there. It is the one which sustains all these projections. The white screen does not need the projections for its existence. Widescreen does not require the movie for its existence, but the movie, the projections are totally dependent on the widescreens for their existence. Similarly, this entire world of Nama Rupa, they are depending upon Ishvara for their existence, whereas Ishvara does not require this world of Nama Rupa for his existence. So these are the two examples that we saw. And in this sloka, Bhagavan Krishna is bringing out the contrast between an Ajnani who has got a Dvaita Drishti and a Jnani who has got Advaita Drishti. If you see the word Dvaita Drishti or Advaita Drishti and all, is not at all used in this sloka. He only uses Nisha, Jagrati, Jagrati and all that, right? Sayami, Sarva Bhutana, all these are words used. Therefore, this is a very cryptic verse. And what Krishna wants to say is not very explicit in this sloka. Therefore, while understanding the sloka, we have to supply the blanks, we have to fill in the blanks in what Krishna has left unsaid. And for that, our Acharya Parampara is there, Guru Parampara is there. Swami Paramarthananda gives a very nice way of trying to understand this sloka. So if we keep that in mind, this sloka will make sense and also will become easy to understand. So first of all, in this sloka, Krishna is talking about two types of people. That is very clear. Sanyami, he says, and Sarva Bhutanam, he says. Wise people, and we can call otherwise people, or ignorant people, the samsaris. Such people, that is the samsaris, are stated to be awake to the night. Mind you, not awake at night. Awake to the night like an owl. Owl, all awake at night. The type of a bird which keeps awake during the night and which is awake to the night life alone. Therefore, here the comparison of an Ajnani is to an owl. And a Jnani is compared to a human being. This is the first point we have to very carefully note while understanding this sloka. First point is an Ajnani is compared to an owl and a Jnani is compared to a human being. So there are two comparisons which are not said explicitly, but that is how we have to understand. Who sleeps at night and is awake to the day? A human being. Who sleeps during the day and is awake to the night is an owl. So these two comparisons we have to draw out of this sloka. Then we should remember two more comparisons. The daytime, Krishna is going to compare to Advaitam. And the night time, which is a darkness, is compared to Dvaitam. So totally 4 we have to remember. A Jnani is equal to human beings. Ajnani is equal to an owl. The day is equal to Advaitam. Night is equal to Dvaitam. And with this set of 4 comparisons, we have to understand this sloka. So this is a sloka which requires some amount of thinking, some amount of relating to what is being said. So with this background, let us draw some conclusions. A human being is awake to the day and he is asleep to the night. So here a jnani who is compared to a human being who is awake to the day. Awake means he is aware of the day and he is asleep to the night. What is the comparison for the day? Comparison for the day was Advaitam. So a jnani is awake to the day means he has Advaita Drishti. He is asleep to the night means he is asleep to Dvaitam. So a jnani is awake to Advaitam and asleep to Dvaitam. So what is the significance? The significance here is that the jnani is absorbed in Advaitam and Dvaitam is superficial for him. In fact, Dvaitam is mithya for him. Like the beachman. He is absorbed in the non-dual water, that the waves which are coming and going, they do not disturb him, they do not attract him. In fact, he knows that these waves are just form, appearances. They have no reality. So, a jnani is awake to Advaitam and asleep to Dvaitam. What about an ajnani? Ajnani is like an owl, awake to the night. And night here means what? Dvaitam. So an ajnani has got Dvaita Drishti. So like an owl is asleep to the day, means what? Owl is not aware of the day, but it is awake to the night. Therefore, like the owl, an ignorant person is asleep to Advaitam, the day, and he is awake to what? He is awake to Dvaitam, the night. And this is the essence of this sloka. Put it very simply, jnani is awake to Advaitam and asleep to Dvaitam, and ajnani is awake to Dvaitam and asleep to Advaitam. And we must remember, all this Krishna is talking in the context of the question by Arjuna, Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha. So having dealt with the, Sthita Prajna Lakshanani, then having dealt with Sthita Prajna Sadhanani, now Krishna has again come back to the characteristics of a Sthita Prajna. That's what he is doing the last four slokas, 69 to 72. He is again highlighting like a conclusion, telling Arjuna, these are all the Sthira Prajna's Lakshanani. So first is what? Sthira Prajna, a jnani, a wise man, he is awake to Advaitam only. He totally ignores this world of plurality, this world of duality. Ignore does not mean that he is just oblivious to it. He is very much part of the world, but he understands the mithyatvam of this world. I don't know. There is one nice saying in Tamil. I don't know how many of you will be able to follow it. Maybe if you don't follow, who don't know Tamil, but I think majority is Tamil. That saying, it's very to the point, about Advaitam and Dvaitam. I will tell it in Tamil. Those who can follow, but I will also translate it in English for others. Okay. Marattai maraitadu mamadayane, Marattil maraindadu mamadayane. This is a sloka. Marattai maraitadu mamadayane, Marattil maraindadu mamadayane. It's actually a riddle. This is a riddle to understand the contrast between Dvaitam and Advaitam. I mean, literally translated, it means the wood was masked by the huge ferocious elephant, and the huge ferocious elephant was masked by the wood. Funny statement, isn't it? The wood was masked by the huge ferocious elephant, and the huge ferocious elephant was masked by the wood. Let's just analyze this, understand this little. An ignorant person is seeing a huge ferocious elephant which is made of wood, but he is not aware of that. He is only seeing a dark, black, huge, ferocious elephant standing about 20 feet away from him. Because he is not aware that it is made of wood, when he is seeing the elephant, he is missing the wood. And the elephant is a frightening elephant, it's a ferocious, huge elephant. And taking it to be real, he is scared and he is actually about to run away also. Then one wise man comes there. He tells this Ajnani, don't run away. I will take you near the elephant. In fact, I will make you touch the elephant. The ignorant person says, hey, sir, I don't know, you may be a very experienced person, but do not go near this elephant. There is a saying in our place that we must avoid going near a lonely elephant. Lonely elephants are very dangerous. So don't go near this elephant, please. I am not going to accompany you in any case, but you also don't go near this elephant. It's a very ferocious elephant, wild elephant. And the wise man says, don't worry, Pa. I know how to tame the elephant. I know the magic words which magicians use to tame the elephant. Don't worry, come with me. The elephant will do nothing. Then he takes this person and goes near the elephant and asks this ignorant person to touch it and see. When the ignorant person touches the elephant, he learns that actually it is made of wood. There is no real elephant. Then he appreciates the wood, which is the content of the elephant. He appreciates the beauty of that sculptor or whoever has made that beautiful elephant out of wood, which looks real. And that is the condition of all of us. We see this beautiful world and then we take it to be real. The moment this Ajnani appreciates the harmless wood, at once the frightening elephant has disappeared from his mind. So when one sees the elephant, he misses the wood, and another person sees the wood and dismisses the elephant. One person misses the elephant, another one dismisses the elephant. That is the essence of the sloka, pure Advaita philosophy. If you have to understand what this world is about, just keep this verse in mind. And in fact, Adi Shankara and somewhere in the Shastras also, example of rope and snake is given. We have talked about this example earlier also in the context of some other sloka. There is a rope which is lying in a little twisted way on the floor, on the ground, and the light is very dim. So an ignorant person takes the rope as a snake and he wants to run away from it. Whereas a wise person comes there, he shines the torch of knowledge on the snake and understands that there is no snake at all. It is only a rope which is lying down. The ignorant person taking a rope to be the snake, he was scared. He was looking for a stick to beat the snake. But the moment he understands that there is no snake at all, it is only a rope, a harmless rope, the snake has disappeared. Similarly, the world is now a frightening thing for an ignorant person. He feels that the whole world is there only to trouble him, to affect him. And if he wants peace of mind, he should run away from this world. Therefore, like the elephant, like the snake, this world is a frightening thing for an ignorant person. Whereas a wise person, the very same world is harmless wood. Or actually speaking, he understands, Aham Brahmasmi. It is harmless Brahman or the beautiful God. For him, Sarvam Shivamayam Jagat, Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat, Sarvam Brahmamayam Jagat. Whether you see, when you see Vishnu, Shiva, or you miss the Jagat, and when you see the Jagat, you miss Vishnu and Shiva. This world, therefore, is harmless Nama Rupa. We need not worry about the world if we have a good understanding of what the reality of this entire prapancha is. So with this background, let us look at this sloka. Sarva Bhutanam Ya Nisha. So here, as I said, Sarva Bhuta refers to the ignorant human beings. For the ignorant human beings, Ya Nisha. Ya means here it is referring to Advaitam. Nisha means night. So, for an ignorant person, the Advaitic truth, the non-dual reality is like the night. They are asleep to that. That means what? For ignorant people, Advaitam is like night. That means Advaitam is like daytime to which they are asleep. Nisha means here we can not necessarily night. Asleep too also meaning we can extend the meaning of Nisha. They are asleep to the Advaitic truth. Who? Ignorant people. Sarva Bhutanam, all people. And Tasyam Sayami Jagarti. Sayami here means a Jnani, wise person. He is Jagarti, he is awake to that Advaitam, Tasyam. Tasyam refers to Advaitam. Jagarti means awake. So the wise man is awake to that Advaitam, and to that Advaitam, all ignorant people, the owl-like ignorant people, they are asleep too. This is one part of the sloka. Then, Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani. So here Yasyam refers to Dvaitam. And Bhutani, again, there Sarva Bhutani, here just plain Bhutani means all ignorant people. Jagrati, they are awake too. So Yasyam refers to Dvaitam. So all ignorant people are awake to Dvaitam. They are awake to plurality. They are awake to superficial Nama Rupa. And when it is daytime for the Ajnanis, that is when they are awake to Dvaitam. What is the Jnani doing? He says, Sa Munehe Pashyati Nisha. To that plurality, to that Dvaitam, Jnani is Nisha, asleep to that. So, in short, the essence is Jnani is absorbed in Advaitam and Ajnani is absorbed in Dvaitam. Jnani sees immortality everywhere because Jnani understands that this mortality and the rebirth and all is nothing but changing of the name and form by the same entity which is Ishvara. He understands everything is Ishvara. In fact, there is only Ishvara. Whatever I am observing is only that Ishvara is putting on new dresses, new shapes. He appears in different colors. That's all. Jnani enjoys this world, like we all enjoy a movie, but knowing fully well that the reality of the movie is the white screen. Without that white screen, there will be no movie. On the contrary, the Ajnani sees mortality only. So when I see immortality, there is no question of birth and death and crying. Whereas for the Jnani, there is birth of somebody, death of somebody, and therefore constant crying. This is the example number 1, day-night example of a human being owl example. Now Krishna gives another example in the next sloka. I will read the sloka. Apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudramapah pravishanti yadvate tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kama kami. Another beautiful sloka. The Anvaya is Yadvat apaha apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudram pravishanti tadvat sarve kamaha yam pravishanti saha apnoti shantim na kama kami. Yadvat, just as. Apaha, the waters. Apuryamanam, full, brimful. Achala pratishtam samudram, calm ocean, without any motion, well grounded. Pravishanti, enter. Tadvat, so too. Sarve kamaha, all sense objects. Yam, the one, that is the wise person, into whom pravishanti, enter. Saha, he. Apnoti shantim, he gains peace. Na kama kami, not the seeker or desirer of sense objects. So just as the waters enter into the ocean, which is already full, it is brimful, but the water enters from all the sides, all the rivers flow into the river, into the ocean, but the ocean remains unaffected. In the same way, all sense objects enter the wise, and the wise person, he remains unaffected. He gains peace. That means he remains unchanged. Whereas a desirer of objects, a kami, he does not gain peace. This is the essence of this sloka. So here another example is given by Bhagavan Krishna to highlight another characteristic of a wise person. This is a simpler one example, unlike the previous one, for which we had to remember some comparisons and things like that and all. A Jnani being compared to a human being, a Jnani to an owl, day compared to Advaitam, night compared to Dvaitam, etc. One has to remember all these things for understanding the previous sloka. In fact, in Advaitam, whenever we are teaching Upanishads or anything, many concepts can be explained only through certain examples. And Shastra uses that. I mean, Shastra uses lots of examples. And normally an example is meant to simplify the meaning. But of course, one must remember, example has to be understood only in the context in which the example is given. We cannot extend the example to other situations and say that this example is not appropriate. That is one thing about understanding examples we must remember. So as I said, examples are meant to simplify the meaning, but in the previous sloka, the example makes things tougher rather. Become very difficult. But as per our tradition, there is a reason for this. Now, what is the reason? It's a very interesting reason. Some of you may already know this reason. It appears that Vyasacharya wanted to write Mahabharatam. And the slokas, Mahabharatam has got 1 lakh slokas, 100,000 slokas. Just imagine one human being, you ask us, we cannot even memorize 1 sloka easily. That's the greatness of Vyasacharya, and this is only one of his compositions. Mahabharata is only one of his compositions. 100,000 slokas. And these slokas were appearing in his mind continuously like a waterfall. Of course, he had his disciples, but he was not sure whether his disciples will be able to write down the slokas as fast as he was able to compose them. Vyasacharya knew that if somebody can actually act as a scribe and take down the slokas fast, it is only Lord Ganesha. Lord Ganesha only has got the capability of writing so fast. As Vyasa composes, Lord Ganesha will immediately write. And Lord Ganesha was very proud of his skill. He was very confident as a fast writer. So when Vyasacharya approached Ganesha, he accepted the assignment on one condition. And the condition was that Vyasacharya should compose the slokas continuously. He should not stop or pause in between for thinking or whatever it is, He told Vyasacharya, I will do what you are saying, but if you stop dictating, I will stop writing, and then I will not be with you. Therefore, while I take up the challenge of writing all that you are dictating, you have the challenge of giving me work continuously. You must not pause to think to compose the slokas. Therefore, Vyasacharya had to compose continuously and dictate. He had no choice. So Vyasacharya agreed. But he put one counter condition to Ganesha. He said, I will continuously dictate to you, but you should not blindly, mechanically write down what I am dictating. You should understand the meaning of each sloka and then only write. Ganesha, Siddhi and Buddhi. What is the problem in his understanding? So he said, yeah, okay, fine, no problem. I will write only after I understand what you think, what you say. So this was the pact side. And Vyasacharya started composing and dictating. But while composing, there will be instances where he may have to pause and think for a couple of minutes what exactly words he wants to use. So whenever such occasion arose, Vyasacharya, it seems, would compose one complicated shloka. And when Ganesha will be scratching his head to understand the meaning, Vyasacharya would have composed another 100 or 1,000 slokas. This is an interesting story. Therefore, such slokas are called Granthi slokas. Granthi means a knot in Sanskrit, means a knot, naughty slokas. They are naughty, and Bhagavatananda ji says they are naughty also. Knotty and also Naughty, naughty slokas. In fact, we saw one such sloka earlier also in the 16th verse of the second chapter, this chapter. Na sato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate satah. That was also, it requires an interpretation, right? You can check the meanings which we had seen. That which does na asat vidyate bhavaha. The non-existent does not have existence, and the existence does not have non-existence. Na bhavo vidyate satah. And then again, it's a naughty sloka. What do you mean by that? I mean, that's very obvious, isn't it? Non-existent does not have existence, and existence does not have non-existence. That's very simple. What is there to say about? But when we understood that sloka, we saw that it was a little complicated sloka. And there are many such, even Adi Shankara quotes in his Bhashyam also, more and more sloka. So like that, this is another naughty sloka, this Yanisha Sarva Bhutan. Then more will come later. Karmanya karma yah pashyet akarmani cha karma yaha. The one who sees action in inaction and inaction in action, he is wise. What do you understand? The one who sees action in inaction. Doing nothing, he sees action. And when he's doing something, he sees inaction. Again, a very complicated sloka. Cryptic sloka, a Granthi sloka. And there's one more in the 9th chapter. Matstani sarva bhutani nachaham teshva vastitah. Immediately the next sloka says, first he says, Matstani sarva bhutani nachaham teshu avastitah. Next sloka is a nacha matstani bhutani pashyame yogam aishwaram. All the beings live in me. Then he immediately says, all the beings do not live in me. What do you understand? That's why, anybody studying Bhagavad Gita, or for that matter, any scriptures without a guru who has already undergone a training, who has understood the meaning, and who is capable of actually revealing or unfolding the knowledge, if you do it on your own, what will happen? You will say, all these are total contradictions. I'm not able to understand anything. Similarly, Ya Nisha is also a naughty verse, because we have to remember 4 comparisons. And Krishna probably feels, okay, I have already given one. Vyasacharya has got enough time now to think about the next. So next one is example, is a simple example. In this sloka, Jnani is compared to the ocean. And there are 2 objectives describing the ocean in this verse. The first one is Apuryamanam. It refers to the ocean being totally filled with water. Actually, the ocean requires no more water to be full, because it is already filled to the brim. And second adjective is achala pratishtam. Describes the ocean as not moving from place to place. Like what the river water does, it continuously flows. Whereas the ocean water stays where it is. Thus, the ocean is not only full, but without any motion also. It is very well grounded. And this verse also gives some more information about the ocean. Because if we compare, a pond depends upon a source of water for its existence. The ocean does not depend upon any other source of water for its fullness. It does not depend upon the rain for the oceanness. Unlike the rain clouds that depend upon the evaporation of the ocean water for their cloudness. Nor does the ocean depend upon any entry of water. Let the rivers flow into the ocean, let the rivers not flow into the ocean, it will not make any difference to the ocean. It is not that because the river waters are flowing into the ocean, it becomes an ocean. On its own, it has got, it is its own. So what is the source of water for ocean? It is its own source. It depends upon no other factor, no other source of water. The glory of the ocean then is within itself alone. And water enters the ocean from all sides in the form of rain and rivers, etc. But does the entry of these various forms of water bring about any change in the fullness of the ocean? If it does, then we can say that the ocean is not full, and only when the waters come and join the ocean gets its oceanness, it becomes full. And if no change is brought about by the water entering into it, then the ocean is full by itself, and the non-entry of water will make no difference to its fullness. Thus, the glory of the ocean is, it is ever full, it is Purnam. Because rivers, we have got dry rivers. In fact, many parts of India, even Tamil Nadu and all, lot of dry rivers. Once upon a time, they were rivers, now they are all dry. We still call them like rivers and all, but we can see children playing there, or some slum being there, or the whole area being redeveloped. And multi-stories coming up there. Still we say there is a river. So rivers, they are not full. Sometimes they have got water, sometimes they are dry also. Similarly, tanks, ponds, wells, any other body of water. They may have water, they may not have water, because they all depend upon some other source for their fullness. Whereas the glory of the ocean is, it is ever full and it is independently full. Its purnatvam, its fullness, does not depend upon any external factors. Rivers do not fill up the ocean. Rains do not fill up the ocean. Suppose the rivers claim, there is a discussion some between an ocean and a river. They claim, because of me only, Mr. Ocean or Miss Ocean, you are full. I am pouring into you, therefore you are only full. Suppose there is such a dialogue goes on. What will the ocean say? The ocean will not even argue. It will just smile. Because the ocean knows the very river which is saying that it is filling me is born out of me alone. From me alone, water has evaporated. Because of me alone, clouds are formed. because of me alone, rains pour, because of me alone, rivers are formed, and these rivers are now claiming that they are entering me and making me full. Are Baba river, you don't know the reality of what is your reality. You have all come from me only. It is just like Bhagavan telling all of us. The ocean says, I do not depend upon the rivers, but the rivers depend upon me. Therefore, what are the two glories of the ocean? It is Purnam, and also it is Swatantram, independent. A river's arrival, departure, or river's arrival also does not bother the ocean. River's non-arrival also does not disturb the ocean. And not only that, even the quality of the rivers, Ganga also enters the ocean, Yamuna also enters the ocean, so many rivers, Brahmaputra and all, Narmada, everything enter the ocean, even all wastewater discharge from the cities, urban areas also enters into the ocean. Whereas the ocean is ever the same. It may get polluted for a small period of time, but it is not possible to pollute the ocean that easily. Whatever pollution goes into the ocean, it throws it out through waves and all that. They all come out. Even a dead body in the ocean, it will be thrown to the shore. It does not keep anything. It is totally clean. Therefore, just as the fullness of the ocean is not affected by the entry or non-entry of water, so too a wise person's peace of mind is not affected by the objects that enter the mind. These objects enter into such a person just as water enters the ocean. But a wise person is not affected by these objects because, like the ocean, the wise person has realized his Purnatvam, his fullness, because fullness is his own very nature that he has understood, realized, and he has assimilated that knowledge. His fullness is not because of any family condition. It is not because somebody admires him. It is not because somebody respects. It is not because he has got hundreds of disciples. If any person claiming to be a wise person says that I am great because of all these things, so many followers are there and all that, that is the river mind. There are people who say, I am very happy because my children obey me. How long? How long are your children going to obey you? When they grow up, even when they come into the teens. In fact, nowadays that is also not required. Even small child, you go to any mall, you will see 3-year, 4-year-old child. It will create such a tantrum that the parents have to obey what it says. Therefore, when the children don't obey me, I am shattered. When they become independent, again I am shattered. I want them to be permanently dependent on me. Therefore, all the Agyanis, the Samsaris have got what? Well mind, tank mind, lake mind, river mind, pond mind, all these kind of temporary fullness they have. They are never full. And even if they are full, that fullness is depending upon external factors, and that's why they are all called samsaris. Jnani's mind, on the other hand, is so purnam. Wonderful experiences come, very good, most welcome. There are no wonderful experiences, then also it is fine. And Krishna keeps highlighting this trait of a jnani. Mana pamanayostulya mitra tulyo mitra ripakshayoho. He says, samadukka sukha swastaha samaloštama kanchanaha shubha shubha parityagi. So many slokas we will see. And in this sloka itself, in this chapter, we saw verse 57. Yas sarvatra nabhisneha tat tat prapya shubha shubham nabhinandati nadveshte tasya prajna pratishtita. You saw it, isn't it? That shubha or mangala experiences come. The so-called ashubha or amangala experiences come. Mana comes, apamana comes, success comes, failure comes. In all of them, he is samaha. Neither excited by happy experiences, nor is he hateful of the unhappy experiences. That's why Krishna keeps repeating Raga Dvesha management. Hold Bhagavad Gita, and if you want to be permanently happy in your life, the key word is Raga Dvesha management. How you manage your Raga Dveshas. Now we'll just look at this sloka and then we'll see both in the next class. Okay. The first example, that is ocean, the samudram, is described. Apuryamanam, achala pratishtam. I have already explained the meanings and all that. Ever steady, magnanimous, undisturbed. And in this great ocean, apaha pravishanti, varieties of rivers enter the ocean. And even when all these situations or events happen, samudra is what? Purnamadav purnamidam purnat. It's always full. Now we have to connect this samudram to a jnani. Similarly, yam kamaha pravishanti. So jnani's ocean-like mind is there, into which kamas. Here kamaha to be taken to mean objects, desired, the objects of desire. Kamyate iti kama. They are desired, therefore it is called kama. It is not merely desire, but desirable objects. So here kama refers to sensory experiences. The world of sense objects enter, like shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. They all enter the jnani's mind. Somebody tells the jnani, you are wonderful, you are great, because you gave some donation. And if it happens to us, we happen to give some donation to somebody. And they all praise us. Oh, you are Mahan, sir, you are Mahatma. We think they are glorifying us. All the glorification is only for the sake of money that we have given. Next day, when the same person comes and asks you for donation and you say, I don't have any money to give you, they will curse you. So, some people will glorify, some people will curse, some will criticize and all. So, kamaha pravishanti, when they enter the full mind of a jnani. And what is the state of that mind? Sa shantim apnoti. He enjoys an unruffled mind, a mind, poised mind, a full mind. All the time he enjoys. And na kama kami, an ignorant person who is heavily dependent on the external factors, He will wait for the external factors to enter to enjoy peace of mind, enjoy happiness. So here Kama Kami means a dependent people, seekers of external approval, who are people who are dependent upon external sensory objects, sensory experiences to be happy, unlike a Jnani who is always peaceful, who is always apuryamanam achala pratishtam, like an ocean, always remains, he unruffled mind he has got. Balanced mind. That is the Jnani's characteristic described in this sloka. We will see more in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Guruji.
Thank
Happy
you so
Makara
much.
Sankranti.
Thank you, all of you. Happy Pongal, happy Makara Sankranti.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Guruji.
Thank you.
Happy Pongal.
Happy Pongal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Thank
Hari
you.
Om.
Happy
Thank you.
Pongal.
Thank you. Same to you.
Back
Raghuji,
in
that
Bombay.
posted that sloga, Tamil Tirumala slogam.
There. Marathil Maraindade
Maraithare
Mamadayane.
Marindade Amadayane.
Yeah. You know the sloka, no? You must have heard it.
I have posted it in the chat.
You're posted in the chat. Okay. Good. Yeah. There are so much, you see, if you actually analyze all our writings in Tamil and all, they are all reflective of Advaitam only. Everywhere we come across, Advaitam is the only truth. That is the conclusion we can come to. Even so many, this classical music, this Carnatic music and all. If you see the compositions, they are all talking about Advaitam only. They are all Mahatmas who understood the reality of this entire world. That's why they are Mahatmas. Yeah, good.
What is the then about Vishishtadvaitam founded by Ramanujacharya Udaivar?
Stage, as I told you earlier also, it's a development rather, it is not irrelevant. It is not that it is wrong, but it is one stage of your reaching to the goal, to the truth. Now, if you straight away, a person who is totally drowned in Dvaitam, it will not be possible for any Acharya to directly take him to Advaitam. Because he will either get confused and he will not understand, what it is. So Acharyas like Ramanujacharya and Madhvacharya, there's so many other Acharyas have come, they all actually contribute to this building process. For example, even the Vedas itself, you see, if you see the Purva Bhaga, that is the Karma Kandam, you will give reality to all the karmas that we do. You will give reality to Punya Papa. You will give reality to all the, the karma and karma phala. You do this yaga, you will get this phala, right? All this they will be totally steeped in that. They will believe in all those things. Then you come to Upanishad, the Vedanta, the last portion of the Veda, same Vedas, not different Veda. Every Veda has got Upanishads. There it says all these are mithya. All these karmas are mithya. There is only one reality, which is Brahman. Then when you come to that, does it mean that whatever you studied earlier are all waste and it all, it was misleading? No. Unless you go through that karma kanda, you will not be able to come to this. So both are required. Your understanding of karma kanda and its basis is required, and also you require, when you come to Vedanta, you will understand that my training or my knowledge of the karma kanda was necessary for me to appreciate what this Advaitam is. So there is nothing which is superfluous or nothing which is waste. It's all a learning process. So that is how we have to understand the role of Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya. None of them are wrong. It is only that they have highlighted a certain aspect of this. If you say that there is only Bhagavan, there is only Brahman, whom you cannot see, whom you cannot, you cannot experience that Brahman, he is formless, nothing is no guna, is gunatita. What will you understand? A common man, what will he understand? He will understand there is nothing like that existing. That is why we have got all these temples and things like that and all, which is all a learning process. We cannot put a small child and into Advaita and say, Aham Brahmasmi. We will not understand anything. So it's a step-by-step process, and it depends upon the Adhikaritvam. One who gains Adhikaritvam in this life, or who actually has gained a lot of Adhikaritvam in the previous life, for such people, it will become, understanding this Advaitam will become easier, because what is Adhikaritvam? Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti, they have gained. Viveka, Vairagya, all those we have seen in Tattva Bodha class, they have gained sufficiently. So whenever we are moving from Dvaitam or from Vishishta Advaitam to Advaitam, we have to keep building that Adhikaritvam. When you come to a PhD course, does it mean that you are doing a MSc or a BSc was a waste? No, you cannot come to PhD unless you have done MSc and BSc, isn't it? So we have to understand this. Ultimately, what is the truth? We go by only one source, which is the truth, which is the Vedanta, which is the Upanishads. The end portion, the conclusion of the Vedas, what they say. What is the message in the Upanishads? That is for us, is the, what we can call Veda Vakyam, or that is the only truth, that is the only reality. That is our belief, our Shraddha in that, that is the only reality of this entire Prapancha. Advaitam is the reality of the entire Prapancha. That does not mean that other this thing are all waste or useless, or they are not saying the right thing. I mean, even when you, in science, you see, Newton propounded certain physical theories, right? He discovered certain physical phenomena. Then came Einstein. He dismissed what Newton had said and he improved upon what Newton has said. He said that this is not that easy, it is little more complicated. So when Einstein came, does it mean that whatever Newton said was all waste and useless? No. You could not have understood Einstein if you had not understood Newton. Then came now quantum physics. Quantum physics has gone one step ahead of Einstein. But not one step, many steps ahead of Einstein. Einstein's relativity theory itself is challenged by quantum physics. Does it mean that his relativity theory is all a waste and it is useless, no relevance? No. Without understanding the theory of relativity, you could not have understood what is quantum physics today, what is particle, what is waves and all that they are talking about. So nothing is irrelevant, nothing is waste. The same applies to our scriptural, our this spiritual learning also. And that is why even Mahatmas, when they know the reality, they will still give appear to give reality to all the things in the world, because there is one thing very important. The Mahatma lives for the world. He is a guide to the world. If whatever he does, people will follow him. That is why he has to be careful. He will even go to a temple and even pray like anybody else, so that everybody else also prays. In his mind, he knows. He will tell Bhagavan, hey, Ishvara, I know that you have no form, no this thing. And still I am standing here and praying before a linga, Shivalinga, or a Vishnu statue, or whatever it is. I am folding hands, and along with others I am praying. He will tell in his mind that I know the reality, but for the sake of all these Loka Sangraha, I am doing all these things. It is not a waste. It has a role to play. So Ramanujacharya and all, they came, they wanted to guide the people. They found that the people, if they have to be taken to the right path, this is the path that they have to go. So from Dvaitam, when Visishta Advaitam came, can we say that Dvaitam was irrelevant? We cannot say that. Madhvacharya gave a philosophy, which is Dvaitam, that everything is separate. In fact, every Atma is separate, he said.
Yeah.
No two individuals are same. Then came Visishta Advaitam. Then Advaitam is there. So we have to understand it in that with a very broad mind, inclusive mind. That is how we have to approach.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think that's what that I sent you that that Nobel Prize winners of the scientists. I think you have also gone through that, which proved that the universe is not real now.
Correct. They have come to that now. They have come very close to that.
They have come to
very close to that. Yeah. Very close to what Advaita is. And they are saying there is only one. In fact, they have come to this issue of non-duality also rather. But unfortunately, what is happening is they are still trying to find that in the external world. They are trying to establish that as a reality, as a fact, through their experiments and all, which will never happen. Because consciousness, when we say, is the reality, you cannot capture consciousness in any of these experiments. That's a problem.
Yes.
That is where they will reach an end, almost there, but they will not be able to enter the gate unless they give up this approach of scientific approach of I have to experiment everything. Instead of traveling outside, when they travel inside, they will understand what the reality is. Ultimately, some scientists may develop that kind of this thing, and they will give up all this. They'll say, "No, I know the truth."
Yeah,
but we don't know.
Yes, it can happen. From Newton to Einstein, from here to there, maybe that probably in another.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe as the see, truth is one. So everybody approaches the truth from different angles, rather.
Okay.
That's all. Ultimately, the person who is fully equipped to reach the truth will reach in any case, right? So that is how we have to, take it in the whole context.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you,
Any other-
Guruji.
Thank you, Sulekha ji. Thank you. Any other question, comment? I think that I can close the session. No more discussion. Yeah.
Okay.
Righto, we'll meet next week. Hari Om. Thank you all very much, and happy Pongal,
Thank
happy
you.
Makara
Hari Om.
Sankranti to all of you once again.
Thank you. Same to you, Guruji.
Thank you. Happy Pongal. Thank you.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Hari Om. Thank
Hari
you.
Om.